All right, what's going on, everybody? Today's video is about NFTs. Now, I'm not going to go through what exactly are NFTs and how to go about understanding them and the logic behind them, etc. I'm simply going to point you to this article by Arthur Hayes. And I want you to look at this article called JPEG the Jeweler and go to the final paragraph because this is the only thing that matters. If you are trying to understand the NFT market and you want to make money in it, again, I'm not going to give you financial advice on what to buy and what to sell. Today's video is simply going to be about exactly how I make money in the NFT market and how our community, our Discord community, focuses on the NFT market and how we go about minting, how we stay secure in the process, how we effectively flip assets and flip art pieces and flip collectibles, etc. Let's go through the final paragraph of this JPEG the Jeweler by Arthur Hayes, the GOAT. Don't let the haters distract you from the massive amounts of volume and unique trading opportunities in the burgeoning NFT market. Put aside the fact that you are trading image files and relish the ability to trade this art. NFT markets are not to be ignored. They have a price, they have a volume. The markets are new and inefficient. The market is completely electronic. The market is completely transparent. The transaction costs are relatively low. Just like every other asset class, there are humans consensually buying and selling NFT assets between themselves. You can sit in Mayfair and trade meat space art while getting face ripped by fees, or sit at home in your Lulus, trade punks, and pay gas. Same, but different. I ask again, are you a trader or are you a sucker? So you got to ask yourself, are you a trader or are you a sucker? Do you want to be involved in the NFT market? If so, here is how you go about things. First things first, you will more than likely have to open up a MetaMask or a Phantom wallet. MetaMask is more so associated with Ethereum ecosystem. Phantom wallet is with the Solana ecosystem. These are the only two ecosystems, in my opinion, that matter for the NFT world. A majority of the transactions for the Ethereum ecosystem in terms of art and collectibles in the NFT world happen on OpenSeas. OpenSea is an example of basically a big art exhibition gallery that you can come in, people and artists can list and they can buy and they can sell and they can auction and people can bid and sell, etc. All you have to do is recognize that there's going to be a ton of art. You're not going to know what to buy. You're not going to know what to sell. You're not going to know what is valued at what. You just have to embrace how disconnected this market is. And typically how I go about things is my first bet is to go through Twitter and see what exactly is popping. Okay, so for example, Steph Curry, as of late, he bought this BAYC NFT. Now, if you can afford the BAYC NFTs, they've been doing tremendously well, right? They've basically been gaining value since their inception. Okay, so if we go to BAYC, let's go to Bored Ape Yacht Club. Why is that not popping up? Oh, I wrote border. That's why. There it is. Okay, so BAYC, right? So these are all of the BAYC apes. Now you're probably wondering, why the hell is any of this worth a significant sum of money? 50,000, 100,000, 500,000, $1 million. Art is all about seeing value from the standpoint of beauty being in the eye of the beholder, right? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you think art is worth. It matters what the other person on the other side of the trade believes the art is worth. So if you own something and someone wants to pay you a ridiculous price, then that is what the art is worth. Now, there is clearly a market for BAYC apes, and they're going off the charts in terms of price action, in terms of how much people are willing to pay. But the point is that if you cannot afford this stuff, there's going to be other pieces of art, other pieces of collectibles that are going to be on OpenSea. And hopefully someday you might find something that is worth owning, and maybe someone pays you a ridiculously high sum for it and you get rich off it, right? That is basically what this video is about. Okay. Now, in the Ethereum world, OpenSea, like I said, is really where a majority of the things are transacted. But more often than not, if you actually go through Twitter, you'll see that here's a perfect example of the sevens, okay? This is an NFT that was basically created on the Ethereum ecosystem, and you can click on their link right here. And you can go to their website and you'll see that they had a minting process that was taking place a couple of days back, right? If you got to mint them, and I think the minting price was 0.1 ETH. Now, minting is basically the process of you saying that, hey, I want to pay X amount of ETH to be able to own this thing directly from the owner. And I want to mint it and say I'm the first owner on the blockchain for this piece of art, okay? That's the first real way to go about owning a piece of art or a piece of collectible. Other than that, like I said, you can go directly through OpenSea. You can see all the other pieces of art that are available. You can buy any of these pieces of art and you can say, hey, I want to buy this piece of art from so-and-so person at this price that is stated. That's another way to go about it. But the best way to not get scammed is find some random Twitter account that's telling you that, hey, click this link and connect your wallet, and then you'll be able to mint. Make sure you go to the official source of where exactly the art is being minted from. Go to their official website that they're posting, or even join their Discord and see and make sure that this is, what the link that they say where you can actually mint. Okay, so that's one way to make sure that you don't get scammed. And whenever you do enter Discords, by the way, things are going to be chaotic. Everyone's going to be talking and people are going to be posting all kinds of links, and they'll tell you that there's a backdoor where you can still mint. And even though the mint has ran out, you can get it at a cheaper price, et cetera, et cetera. Do not click those. Do not connect your wallets. Always go to the official source of the Discord or of the website that whatever the NFT source is posting. Now that is all related to the Ethereum ecosystem. A very up and coming ecosystem in the NFT world is Solana, right? Solana has been kicking ass in terms of price action. It's an ecosystem that's really growing, and Solana has had almost copycat NFTs to the Ethereum world, but also different ones too. So Solana Souls, these are some new NFTs that have popped up. Some of them might seem very expensive to you. You may feel like, why am I paying such a ridiculous price for some pixelated, ghost, right? But again, if this is the space that you want to enter and you want to take your stab at NFTs, I personally think that Solana ecosystem is probably where you want to go, because it's a less saturated market. The fees are much cheaper and the transactions are much faster. Okay, things are far better on the Solana ecosystem and far newer and more robust than they are on Ethereum. Souls, this is just one example, right? There's all kinds of random stuff that's going on in the NFT world. This Lobby Lobsters, Digital Eyes. If you guys are familiar with Loot Project, which is like a reverse sort of metaverse, game that's being created, where all you have is these things that are text on a black background, where people are going to buy this stuff, and then you can create characters off the text that you bought. Again, all this sounds absolutely ridiculous, but if you want to be in the game of flipping these assets, you have to get down in the mud and go through the ridiculousness to understand what exactly this whole space is about. Now, I myself have gone through the ups and downs of buying stuff that is worthless, but I've also gone about buying stuff for $50 or $100, or say, half a Solana or 0.1 ETH, and flip that to almost 50, 100x, 500x in terms of returns. Okay, now, I'm not going to say that was easy, and I would say a majority of that is actually luck, because you never necessarily know what is going to take off and do well and what is going to just really suck and no one really cares. Some things that have caught my eye, just like this Loot project, right? And again, I don't know if this is the official Loot. I think Loot is, there's so many, like, I think this is the official Loot project, but there's so many, copycats that are coming up. You want to be careful, right? So Loot is one that is coming up, and Digital Eyes is just Loot, but on the Solana ecosystem. This Loot is on the Ethereum system. ecosystem, and then this Sol Stash is on the Solana ecosystem. So you can see there's a lot of copycat projects, right? Here, if we go to say the Solana Art.io website, you'll see that there's Degen Academy. These are like your Degen apes, right? Kind of similar to the Bored Apes, but not complete copies, right? Even over here, you have Sol Punks, which are kind of similar to the Crypto Punks over here, right? You can see right here. Okay, see these pixelated punks right here that people were really involved in. Kind of similar where you have, Solana punks, right? Maybe in the future, these Solana punks are going to be worth 50 Sol or 100 Sol or 500 Sol, who knows, right? But the point is that there's going to be some sort of arbitrage, if you think about it, from one ecosystem to another, where if you think that, okay, if these punks got to be valued at such high prices, maybe in some way that translates over to these Sol punks. Maybe, right? I really don't know, but I'm giving you guys these resources so you understand where to go not to get scammed and how to keep up with the up-to-date information. And so you're informed as a consumer, as a user, as you get involved in the NFT world. You can go to this website called howrare.is/drops, and you'll see all the things that are coming up on the Solana ecosystem in terms of NFT drops, right? There's like Sol Lions and Sol Penguins, spaceships and snakes. There's all kinds of stuff that's going to be coming out. Remember to have fun with it. Don't try to get involved and think that whatever you pick has to go up 10x, 50x, 100x. In fact, I would say that there's a 90 to 95% chance that most of the stuff you own is probably going to be worthless or really not going to be worth a whole lot as you may think. But it really just takes those one or two, lotto tickets or one or two home runs that covers all the losses from your other NFTs, where this one NFT will basically be, worth 50x or 100x or 500x of what you paid for. Okay, that is how I go about looking at it. Now, if you really love the art and you love the collectibles, hang on to it. See how they do, in a few months or a year or a few years. I personally have a different view. I've started collecting assets and NFTs and collectibles on not only the Ethereum ecosystem, but more so on the Solana ecosystem. And what I've done so far is really just keep them and see over the next few months, if we have another wave of NFT booming in the market, I'm probably figuring that it's going to happen in the Solana world, because the NFT world in Ethereum is very expensive, very cumbersome, and you typically have to be a pretty big whale to be able to afford these trending assets that trade for hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. The Solana world is a little bit cheaper, right? Not only from the transaction standpoint, but from the standpoint of, 13 Sol is about $2,600. Okay. So a punk here, if you think that this is going to do well into the future, $2,600 is not bad to buy a punk. But if you go over here, the minimum punk is about, let's see, from low to high. I mean, a minimum pump that last sold was 27, 28 ETH. I think that's almost like 70K or 60K, something like that, right? It's some ridiculous price, So the point is, you have to be able to explore in the Solana ecosystem, and the way you go about that, you can open a Phantom wallet or a Solid, which is another kind of wallet, and that will help you sort of understand, how to get connected to the market, what you can buy, what is available to you. And you'll also get an understanding of how fast the transactions happen and relatively how cheap the fees are. Okay. Other assets in the NFT world, especially in Solana, I'm paying attention to is things like Star Atlas. These are typically posters that you can buy. Majority of these are just posters. But what you can do is, eventually they say that they're coming out with a game, and then in some way your posters or the assets that you buy can be applicable to the game. So you're effectively buying assets to be played, within a game or within say, utilized in a metaverse, right? I'm sure you've seen that word be thrown around quite a bit, metaverse, but you don't need to be worried, or you don't need to sort of understand fully what the metaverse is. Just think about it as, virtual reality, or, part of a game that is not real. Okay. So other things that are happening in the Solana ecosystem, Solarians, you'll see all kinds of news pop up, celebrities getting involved, news outlets, media outlets, talking about all these different people making tons of money on NFTs and dogs and cats and punks and whatnot. If I were you, I would try to make sure that you don't get too hyped up and involved in what the news is talking about. Do more research on Twitter. Do more research on these websites that I told you all about. Okay. And I promise you that you will be well ahead of the curve, more than most people. Because most people, while they're really trying to get in at the top of the hype, I think the hype has actually died down since the beginning of September. And I personally am aiming for the hype to climb back up, especially in the Solana world, with some assets like this Soul Stash and these, souls and, soul punks and these degen apes, right? And Aurora projects. There's all kinds of art that you will see that you might find interesting, that you might find that, hey, you know what? I just want to own these because they look cool. And once you get involved, you'll see that it's a whole world of fun, and interesting stuff that you can dive down the rabbit hole all through different Twitter accounts. And if you go to our private Discord community, you can sign up at thealphatrades.com and buy our subscription. You will get access to all the things that we are watching on a day-to-day basis, all the things that we are trading in the NFT world on a day-to-day basis. And you will be very up to date and knowledgeable to make sure that you're not missing out on things that are happening in the NFT world, or hopefully you're not getting scammed or ripped off or hacked or whatever, all the bad stuff that happens. Okay. So I'm giving you guys this video just as a primer on the NFT world, which is just a quick, intro of exactly how I'm going about the NFT world. I know there's a lot to it. There's a ton of stuff happening, tons of NFT drops, tons of mints. But we are here to keep you informed and up to date in the NFT world. So, this video was presented to you by the Alpha Trades community. Please join our private Discord community by going to the products page right here, signing up for a subscription, $97 per month. Who knows? If you buy this sub, hopefully you get into one of the NFT mints, and that pays off a year of your subs if you do get to flip it successfully, right? Again, we're not here to provide you financial advice, but here to give you the best resources available to make sure that you know exactly what's happening in this new up and coming NFT world. And hopefully you don't get hacked or scammed, or, you don't make critical mistakes. All right. That's all I got for y'all. Make sure y'all check out this article, JPEG the Jeweler by Arthur Hayes. Until then, take care, good luck, and join the Discord community. The link is below, and make sure you hit the thumbs up. Thanks, folks. Cheers.